you're ready in the next 10 seconds.
Okay. Baseball, a sport centered around a primitive battle between a man with the ball and a man with a stick. One of the most important questions and prominent questions in baseball is who has the fastest fastball. All of these men are power pitchers. A power pitcher is a pitcher that relies on the speed of his fastballs to get batters out. Power pitchers are either short, and when I say short, like my height, 6'1", 6'2", with big legs and long arms, or tall, like Randy Johnson at 6'10", with long legs and long arms. Our first power pitcher is Bob Feller. He threw in the early 1900s and was the first man to have an estimate of how hard he threw. He accomplished this by racing his fastball against a motorcycle. There you go. His fastball came out to be 122 feet per second, or 83.1 miles per hour, which was unheard of in the early 1900s. Oh wait, what the heck? All right, whatever. All right. The first man to have his fastball officially measured was Walter the Big Train Johnson. He got this nickname by throwing a fastball through a chronograph, this thing right here, which was used to measure the speed of bullets out of the barrel. His fastball came out to be 91.4 miles per hour, and he got the nickname the Big Train because his fastball was faster than the 20th century train, which only traveled at 60 miles an hour. Probably one of the biggest power pitchers in all of baseball is Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan holds the record for the fastest pitch ever recorded. His fastball was measured by one of the first generation Jugs radar gun, which is up there in the top right. The radar gun measured his pitch 10 feet in front of home plate at 100.9 miles an hour, which recalculated to how we measure it today, which is 10 feet in front of the mound, comes out to be 100.1 miles an hour. His career spanned over 4 decades, and he continued to throw this hard for all 4 of those until he blew out his arm in his last game, and still threw 98 miles per hour for that pitch. Aroldis Chapman is the last power pitcher that we were talking about today. He was raised in Cuba and defected in 2009 at the age of 21. He came here to play baseball and was drafted by the Reds in 2010. That same year, moving up minor leagues extremely fast, Aroldis Chapman threw his first major league game with the Reds as their closer. Since then, he has played on the New York Yankees and is now on the Chicago Cubs, and pitched last night to get the last out of the game and win the game for them. Chapman's fastball ranges in the high 90s and low to mid 100s. He holds the record for the fastest average fastball ever, and is second behind Nolan Ryan with his fastball being 106 miles per hour. Since Bob Feller, the average speeds in baseball have stayed consistent, with the few exceptions like Aroldis Chapman and Nolan Ryan. These few exceptions are what keep baseball exciting and make baseball what it is today. Thank you.